It's Wednesday, January 22nd, 2020. I'm Ron Friedman, and these are the Cryptosphere's top stories for today. British telecom giant Vodafone is the latest company to pull out of the Libra Association. Central banks are gearing up to launch digital currencies, and one former CFTC official is pushing for the US to do the same. And Jack Dorsey's Square Crypto announces it's developing a Lightning development kit. Vodafone, the British telecom giant, announced on Tuesday that it was backing out of the Libra Association, the Facebook-led conglomerate that is supposed to launch the widely anticipated Libra token sometime this year. With the details, I'm joined in studio with senior correspondent Asher Westrop-Evans. Asher, great to have you here.
Pleasure.
So both sides have by now confirmed that this is happening, right?
Yes, certainly. This is confirmed that they will be pulling out of the Libra Association, although it's all amicable. They're all good friends, Ron. This isn't some of the more nasty splits about regulatory concerns. Vodafone insists that this is just about going ahead and working with this M-Pesa project, an established payment processing project that exists in Africa, in half a dozen different nations throughout Africa. Very successful developing that project, and they say they want to commit resources to that rather than to the, let's say, stalled Libra project.
All right. Now, Vodafone is hardly the first one to pull out. We have, this is number 7, 8?
This is the 8th company to pull out of the Libra project so far. Of the 29 initial companies, we lost a number along the way. PayPal, Mercado Pago, Brookings Holdings, eBay, Stripe, Visa, and yes, now Vodafone pulling out as well. MasterCard in there as well. It's a considerable number down, but Facebook and the Libra Association insist that this isn't the be-all and end-all. They say there are 1,500 companies waiting in the wings, desperate to get into the project.
Okay, so we'll see that list maybe filled up a bit. This isn't the last we're going to be hearing about Libra during Davos. What's in store?
Yeah, with the Davos week well underway, we're going to be hearing from David Marcus, who'll be speaking on a panel on Wednesday afternoon. Interesting to see what he'll do there. Obviously, the panel itself means he could blend into the background a little bit on this one and may avoid some of the more sticky questions. But obviously, he'll be there, head of Calibra. It'll be interesting to see whether he's willing to make any statements there during that auspicious week.
Well, we'll be here to cover and watch and report. Thank you, Asher. Moving on, the race for central bank digital currencies appears to be on in earnest. With China already well on the way to the test, the rest of the world appears to be waking up to the trend. Jona Hochhauser, our reporter, is here with the latest announcements out of the Bank of England. Jona, so newfound interest in CBDC suddenly?
Yeah, Ron. So a couple of different countries' central banks led by the Bank of England has teamed up with Japan as well as Canada, the EU Central Bank, Sweden, and Switzerland. All these central banks have combined to create a group to kind of test out different CBDC use cases to see the positives and the negative effects of a potential CBDC, the kind of a more shared experiences between them, and the thinking here being, the knowledge of the group is better as a whole than its parts.
All right. Now, it seems like with China on board, with this list of 6 other central banks, it looks like the odd man out here is the U.S., the main economy left behind. But there are hints that some at least are beginning to think in that direction, right?
Right, so especially with Secretary Treasury Steve Mnuchin, as well as multiple people from the Fed, it's seemingly the public sector in the U.S. is not on board with the CBDC anytime soon. But former CFTC chair Christopher Giancarlo, as all the Americans like to pronounce his name, he's actually pushing for and starting the Digital Dollar Initiative to push for a U.S. Fed-backed CBDC, and he actually was at Davos speaking about the initiative, and this is what he had to say.
But our purpose is to marshal resources of the private sector to do some of the thinking and conceptualization. I would call it the 3 C's. We're going to convene, we're going to converse, and we're going to come up with some good ideas about what a digital dollar would look like. And by digital dollar, I don't mean a stablecoin. I don't mean something that's a derivative of the dollar. I mean something that it enjoys the full faith and credit of the U.S. government, something that is legal tender.
All right, so a bit of fleshing out of that digital dollar plan, but not everyone's a fan, right?
Right. I mean, yesterday we spoke with Dan Held of Kraken, and he's skeptical of the CBDC's uses, and he had this to say.
I'm not really super bullish on central bank digital currencies because that really doesn't improve the current infrastructure that much, and it doesn't provide any real utility for retail or the everyday consumer. Because the central bank can't open up the ability for retail consumers to deposit at the Fed. Because if you do that, then you immediately undercut the entire commercial banking system. Because why wouldn't I want to deposit my dollars at the Fed, which the counterparty risk there is almost none compared to Bank of America, Wells Fargo, or someone else.
One of the big statements to come out of Davos so far was the announcement by the Huobi Group that it was launching Huobi Brokerage, a digital asset brokerage platform. According to Huobi's statement, it will provide digital asset trading products and services to institutional clients and high net worth individuals. A statement by Kiara Sun, Vice President of Global Business at Huobi Group, said, I quote, "There's an industry-wide consensus that institutional investors and HNWIs will be the major contributors of growth for the crypto economy in 2020 and beyond. But barriers like low liquidity and lack of asset enhancement products are stalling widespread adoption. By introducing institutional-grade products and liquidity solutions that cater to the needs of institutions and eliminate existing barriers, we're aiming to help drive the entire crypto economy forward." Jack Dorsey's Square Crypto has unveiled its much-anticipated plan to boost Bitcoin adoption, and the first announcement on that path is the construction of a Lightning Network development kit. According to a statement by the company, the product is designed to give developers an easy way to integrate the scaling solution Lightning with existing and new Bitcoin wallets. The Square team said in a statement that based on user outreach, what we heard was a desire for flexibility when integrating wallets and applications require different key store and backup mechanisms, security approaches, UX trade-offs, and more. That means the solution is building more wallets, not fewer. So, rather than create a standalone Lightning node, we're building a Lightning development kit that gives wallet and application developers a convenient way to create custom experiences. LDK will include an API language, bindings, demo apps, and anything else that makes integrating Lightning easy, safe, and configurable. And it's now time for Troll of the Day, and today, a gentle trolling by a gentleman. Yona, what's a guy like Steve Wozniak doing in a place like this? Look at that face.
Right, Ron. Well, I'm not a gentleman. Steve's a gentleman. And it started off with a tweet by Steve Wozniak, co-founder of Apple, saying, "Lunch with Justin Sun for free. He paid for lunch with Warren Buffett." Now, Steve, first off, awesome troll by Justin Sun, mocking him for paying for a lunch that he never actually got. But then things got even worse when Jun decided to open up his mouth and actually comment on the tweet, saying, "It was an honor meeting the legendary Woz. Looking forward to our partnership." Now, clearly, Sun didn't catch that it was a joke, and people were quick to point out the obvious, with Kublins tweeting, "There is no partnership. Wozu hasn't announced anything, but you're already making an elephant out of this." And Karen Patel tweeting, "One announcement of announcement." Spot on, guys. As you should have learned that by now with Justin Sun and his Warren Buffett lunch, maybe you shouldn't believe what Justin Sun says till it actually happens.
Yes, the lunch that never happened. Thank you, Yona. That was Around the Block for today. Thank you for watching, and for more blockchain, tech, and cryptocurrency news, visit us at www.blocktv.com.
For more news and updates, follow us on Twitter.